Hey, how's it going, everybody? And this don't really matter, but I guess I'm gonna share also. The internet has shared their thoughts about what happened at the Oscars with Will Smith and Chris Rock, and Chris Rock made a joke about her hair loss, her bald head, and he said he told Jada Pickett that hey, GI Joe 2 or GI Jane 2, can't wait to see it, and he joke as we see the joke hits Will, and Will is laughing. His wife, Jada Pickett, is not laughing. He changes up and he goes up to, and again, Chris sees him. So he's like, dang, oh man. And he comes up to him and Will smacks him in the face. And people see the footage and he comes back, sits down, and he says, wow, I got smacked. And he says, keep my wife's name out your effing mouth. And so Chris is telling him like, hey yo, chill. It's just a joke, And then he repeats it like, keep my wife's name out your mouth, out your effing mouth. Um, so I didn't see it. I didn't really see the Oscars period. I just heard about it and then I seen the footage. But I want to give the context, the bigger context. Now, as we see from during this pandemic, we for some reason hear a whole lot about their family from their own platform, which is a little strange to me, uh, because I kind of heard I thought we were like over this era of sharing too much information for the sake of someone's career, to boost someone's career, but because you see it in music and stuff like that. But no, not really. So she shares it, and one of the contexts I want to say whenever I seen the Red Table Talk in August, I've seen the entanglement thing, is that when they're talking about it, this is past tense. They speak about it as if it's past tense. That not that it is oh, this is something we're currently dealing with and all that stuff. They speak about it like it's past tense. And so they talk about it, the dude, and again, mind you, this August Alsina dude is a friend of Will's son. It's like so it's not Will's friend, this is his son's friend. And again, of course, yeah, there are those. But that's his son, And just think about how weird and emasculating that can be. Is that that's kind of like the equivalent of if you're like you're up there in age, you're all right, but you're up there in age, and your girl, your daughter brings a girl over, and you're married, and things aren't working out in your marriage, and you're stressing out, and you decide to sleep with your friend's daughter who's of age. But think about that. That sounds really weird. And it doesn't matter if you're going through it. Now, mind you, that's part of the context too. They, at that time when they discussed this whole weird entanglement thing, and she can't really admit it, and she just, like, I get it. Because some people, when they talk about stuff like, I've heard from people when they talk about divorce, they say, oh, I learned a lot from it. And they're not lying. I don't think they're lying when they say that. But the thing is just like, okay, yeah, that's great. You're learning stuff, but notice what it did. And again, I think it's just people, they don't want to admit to that level of damage that they've caused. And I get it. I get that aspect because it's like if you come to terms that you've caused so much damage, that might bring so much shame. But people expect when you have so much shame that you automatically decide to, okay, let me change my life around, and it don't really work like that. That's people don't really change like that. They don't change when they get exposed to great levels of shame. It actually leads them to double down on the coping that they're trying to do. And again, people cope in all types of ways. And some ways are just very bad, like addictions and stuff like that. And other ways are, like people. The thing is just like, okay, we get it. That was your coping style, but it was a bad coping style, and because it involved your kid's friend. And I get it, he's an adult, but just think about that for a second. It sounds weird. Another thing is just like, you and your current husband at the time weren't working out. Did they get therapy? No idea. I know when he talked to Romani, Verasula, Dr. Romani, in regards to his conversation with Janet Hubert. And for me, I mean, if y'all have seen I had a video on Jenny Hubert, and I'm just like, man, it's just that's besides the point. So, and what matters more with them two is that they squash the beef, and that's it. Um, but the thing is, just like you just see this, you see that his relationship with women is a little sketchy, I guess. Um, and even prior to that, when he was looking for Jada, he liked Jada a lot, but he knew he was in a marriage. Now people kept telling kept I kept hearing from people's comments that Will's actually cheating, and the thing is that uh, as far as I know from Will's testimony is that he didn't cheat. That he was in a marriage. His ex wife divorced him, and he took that opportunity for freedom to now remarry with this girl he always liked, and all that good stuff. So I don't know any extramarital affairs that Will has done. Maybe he has. I don't know. I don't think he got with anybody. Uh, I mean, yeah, I don't think he got with anybody. I was thinking about Margaret Robbie in that movie Focus, and I had no idea she was in there. I had to take a second look again because I was like, wow, Margaret Robbie, the lady from who played as Harley Quinn, pretty interesting. But apparently not. I don't think so. It's just yeah, they had a making out scene, but like it's a scene. It's their job. They're not supposed to just oh yeah, we're just gonna make out. But it's like I mean, what do you expect? Yeah, in a movie that involves two people, two leads, and they're kind of like love interests, and there's a scene like that, it's just a part of the job. I'm not saying things get hairy because, in order to sell a good actor, I mean, a good performance, you have to put your emotions in there. You have to integrate a personality that's not your own into uh, a person that the director has made, or the artist or whoever made the screenplay. And so, as far as I know, I'm not really all that into acting and whatnot, but that's as far as I know. So my thing is just like I'm hoping Will Smith and Jada Pinkett has gotten their individual therapy, but and I don't think they should apologize to us. To us, I mean, maybe since they already gave us all all their junk to us, maybe that will be like that would be helpful. Like because it's like, at least we know like you guys are cool down and chilled out. But yeah, it's a whole lot of silly stuff because it's just hearing about all their weird marital issues isn't really a comfortable feeling. Especially knowing like it's like being a kid and you see your parents fight and you're like, dang, there's not really much I can do, but I kind of wish I could get out of this situation because it's a little uncomfortable. And then people seeing the little videos, the pictures. Um, so my point with all this is showing, okay, in this time, you've seen Will get exposed to a whole lot of weird actions. He had a dude, his brother's, his friends, his son's friend, talk to him and ask for him for his blessing to date and probably smash his wife, have sex with his wife. So, so it's like that's something you could probably take into consideration is that like yo, his wife is like really messing up and really trying to do this at his expense, and it's like it's not cool at all. Like you're not really like you like why are you screwing doing all this crazy stuff when you can go to therapy? You shouldn't do this therapy at somebody else's expense. So another thing is that based off what I've understood, like his last marriage, he was not gonna, from what I've heard from his testimony, or not so much testimony, but his interview is that he was married, and even though he liked Jada, he wasn't gonna be with Jada because he was already in a marriage. Uh, and so he seems like he's fighting for his marriage. That's what it felt like. But that slap was kind of like, and then, which is also ironic because he has this philosophy about, okay, I can't make you happy. I'm not forced. I can't be the thing that makes you happy, and you have to find your happiness, and I gotta find mine. And he said it just felt like such a relief because what it seemed like was they weren't making each other happy, and all that weird entanglement stuff happened because they just wasn't getting along together. And she has this alopecia thing, which again, I wasn't new to the idea of alopecia. I mean, new to the thought of alopecia. I think it's just baldness, and I don't know if I always thought that was like you don't have hair anywhere, because I heard that from a Drake and Josh, that lady, the black lady. She was saying she had alopecia, and that her nose hairs are just completely empty. And I was like, oh, okay, but I'd be like, yo, dog, she don't got cancer, dog. She got alopecia, which is what, less hair or something. And I get it. A woman's hair is a crown, so she cares about her hair. But like, I don't know. It was almost like what it felt like was like a high school or middle school thing where you have your girlfriend and the boy, the jokester likes to goof around, so he goofed off with your girlfriend, and you just got upset, so you bopped him one. That's what it felt like. But these were adults at this adult convention city event thing that was widely acclaimed, and is with a bunch of rich, wealthy celebrities, and he pulled something like that against another man, and he still got an award. And ironically, I think the movie he got nominated for, the wife, or no, I guess they call it a strange daughter. And I don't know if this dude that he does this video for, like the person he's playing as, I don't know if this person's still alive, but they said the daughter said he should kind of get rid of his nomination, his Oscar that he got. So it felt like he was fighting for his marriage, because he's working out all these different angles to work out his marriage. He's working on himself, and I was like, looking at him, he said he's in his 50s, so it's like, yo, that's dope, man, And he was bolstering his social media presence. I'm like, that's dope too. Another thing I want to also mention is that he has his wife. No. His childhood was violent. His father was abusive, and he said his father used to beat him. And so after that, he had this perspective that he will not resort to violence in his marriage. But the thing is that just because you don't resort to violence doesn't mean you can't assert yourself and say, no, I don't really like doing this. And the thing is that I don't know if he's ever really taken counseling seriously. Because he, like, when Romani was trying to talk to him about Janet Hubert, and she was blaming him a lot, even, she held on to a grudge. She was Black M. Viv, if you didn't know who Janet Hubert is, Black M. Viv. So they had this conversation maybe a few years ago, maybe 1 or 2, and she blamed him. And she said she was holding hate in her heart for almost 20 years. And mind you, when YouTuber Mr. Gigi had a conversation, he tried to have a conversation with her, but she was dissing him. A random stranger on the internet. We knew him, but I doubt she knew him. And she was out here cussing him out and all that. And then she blamed Will for everything. Like, no. If you check out her and her interactions with the rest of the cast, she was, and mind you, she had credit. She had skill in theater. She had all these, she was decorated. It's like how Monique say, a comedian Monique, Janet Hubert was and she probably still is, well decorated. She's a decorated thespian, actress. And yet was jealous of a dude, of some guy, some young dude. I'm like, just think about that. Think about how immature that is. So I only dial it back to that because I'm like, and he said he looked up to Janet Hubert because she was so she's probably because she was a powerful woman. She was very talented, very smart, very educated. But long we hope, she has all these problems, and she ain't trying to really be a team player to the team. I mean, to the cast. And the thing is, and then he shooting back at her. So the thing is that it took Will now to finally unpack his baggage, unpack his childhood trauma, unpack his issues when he got fame really quick at a young age, unpack his problems from dealing with actresses, unpack his problems from his past wife, unpack his problems with his new wife, unpack his problems from his children, unpack his problems from his wife stepping out on him in an affair, unpacking his problems of, because it don't seem like she apologized. She didn't apologize on the thing. Maybe she apologized to him for the other thing. Who knows? I couldn't tell you, but she don't seem like she apologized. So you had and I they said something like his conversation like he was trying to off himself. I don't really know. I didn't hear that from his speech. But I didn't hear his speech entirely, so there's that. But he was saying he wanted to be a vessel for love, and I think he genuinely do believe that. But I think he is fighting for this marriage, and this marriage is hanging on by a thread. You know, because she didn't stop him. She didn't say, "Hey, Will, I know you could have handled him," but like she didn't grab him by the arm. Hey, please don't do this. Hey, I appreciate you. She was like, you know, pissed, and she let him go on stage at the Oscars at this grand moment and smack this dude. You think like that stuff you think about? Yeah, man, he said this crazy thing. I was gonna go over and smack him. He did it. Now, mind you, if Chris Rock wasn't, if Chris Rock broke character for a second and was like, "I'd beat you down, I'll beat you like a drum, don't step to me," he was just in shock because he's a comedian. He's used to offending people. Because people got words to say to him, some four-letter words, but I'm pretty sure it comes with a job that he's used to people sitting here saying words and trading remarks and stuff like that. I don't think he is expecting people, and nor should anybody, for these jokes to expect to get at anybody. I don't think so. You shouldn't be expecting, dang, all right, because that's as people know, like with Chappelle, he was battling folks, not so much physically, but he was sitting here telling people, yo, I need y'all to, like, he was telling people, this is the last line of defense for free speech, essentially. And he said, after that, it's over. And so, at the Oscars, at this big thing where somebody is exuding toxic masculinity by smacking his wife, I don't care about what these other women were talking about. They're not in this position, and their reputations are not on the line. Anybody can say anything. If Tiffany Haddish had a moment like that where she decided, forget this, I'm smacking him myself, consider her part of her career that she's cultivated up with the rest of America a little tarnished, potentially over, But it's easy for people to sit here and say, yes, you're right, or yes, you're wrong. None of us are in their position, but I really wish he would have handled that with more tact. It just was a bad look. And people are making this a black issue, a white issue. It's not even a white issue, but like people are making this a black issue. Like I get it involved two black men, but it really wasn't that. It was a thing of like, because these dudes, mind you, when we're talking about black issues, we're talking about black issues for equality's sake, so that black people can be seen just as everybody else, to be seen as human. These people are not regular black men. These men are ultra wealthy men, ultra wealthy entertainers and comedians. Think about that. Hold your thought in that for a second. Ultra wealthy comedians, ultra wealthy entertainers. These actors are paid millions of dollars to perform their job, which I don't blame them for. Their movies come out pretty amazing. And the directors make this amazing films and stuff. It's great. But think about that. They make in a project in a year what it will make for some of us in a lifetime. And some of us in third world countries in millions of lifetimes almost. Like, who knows? But like, because people get paid like $20 a week, so, or $10 a week, whatever, or $1 a day. So I'm like, just consider that idea. Like, these people get paid exorbitant amounts of money, and like, they say, he would have get picked up off the thing. Maybe, who knows? But he's just like with other celebrities when they start acting up and they want to act crazy. And you know what happened to Jared from Drake and Josh? Drake. Jared Bell, I think his real name is Jared Bell. Where that dude, he was out here talking to minors. Not talking to minors, but he talked to a minor. Guy this thing talked to probably got a slap on the wrist. And who knows why he was smirking in that when he was talking to the judge. I don't know why he was doing that. Who knows? Maybe it was a Cheshire grin. He was hiding something. Who knows? But yeah, these celebrities are wilding out. And I'm just happy. I'm happy for Chris Rock because he was like, instead of trying to make the situation worse, he was just like, dang. He was shook. And he wasn't shook like he was shook, like, dang, wow, somebody really hit me over this. Wow, this is a joke. But yeah, that's my thoughts, It's wild. This stuff is a little insane. Um there's really no winners. Will and JD need some therapy time that's not um broadcasted, that will not at other people's expense, because again, Jada did it at Will's expense. Now Will is coping at Chris Rock's expense. Now who knows if he's gonna feel safe? I'm not gonna say that, because I think he's used to saying offensive content, and that's not just offensive content, just jokes in general, because any joke can offend somebody. But hopefully he recovers from that, because I'm again, like, just think about that. You got emasculated. I don't want to say that. I hate to say that like that. But I've known the feeling of being punked, and it's just not a good feeling. You just have this unbridled rage. And you're like, dang man, I could have did something about this scenario and I didn't. You know, and I'm glad for him that he preserved his integrity by just continuing the Oscars. But it's just like, yeah, that's insane, dog. It's just some dude put his hands on you, and for whatever reason, maybe it was just you were stunned. He's just like, dang, wow, wow. I've said this for like over 20 years, and nobody's ever like really did some crazy stuff like that. That's insane. So again, and people imagine, like, what if he like, dang, I'm gonna have to reclaim my honor somehow. He punked me out on national television. I might have to shoot this guy, to feel some sort of balance, And I'm not suggesting violence. I'm just saying that feeling of having your masculinity punked out like that. It makes a man, any white, black, whatever, makes him feel like, dang, I need to settle the score. This guy is not gonna make me put me in a vulnerable position like that. And regardless of what happens, but I just hope they all can get through this and get over it. And I hate saying that, because when people say that, it's just dismissive. I hope they can get over this big issue respectively, because the Pinkett Smiths need some therapy. I'm happy that his kids are at a stage as black children that they can be as creative and intuitive and think whatever they want. That's kind of like the high goal. People don't think about that. They say his kids are so weird. No, that's kind of the goal you kind of want. You want your kids to be free. You want your kids to be financially free. You want your kids to not sit here and be like, oh, dang, I'm in a hood. I'm stressing out. Dang, I want to be creative, but I just can't because it's scary out here. You don't want to be out here shooting, ducking shots. So that's why I don't feel like they did bad with their kids. I think they did wonderful with their kids. Because they are a little eccentric, but that's fine. Like, you need a kid who can be themselves, who feel like they can be themselves. So I think their parenting is pretty great, pretty dope in that regard. But in regards to like just these marital issues, I hope and pray this because I'm not gonna ask for advice from his kids. What do you think his kids gonna say? Yeah, Chris Rock probably should do this, and maybe no. Chances are, yeah, they're smart kids, but they're gonna take up for their family, take up for theirs. Like, what do you think? So, I don't know. I guess that all is just my opinion on it. You got a lot of stuff you gotta work out, and so does Jada. Like, again, this is my regular opinion. Just know that, like, I'm sorry, I'm rambling, but just know, like, when you don't get your stuff together, you don't get fix your house and stuff like that. This stuff tends to leak out in other places. So, yeah, that's it. That's all I got. Just be careful of that.